Hare, Hare, my sweet Lord.
Thank you, David. And thank you, George. So, are you curious? Give up the goo. Well, it's in honor of our Lent booklet, which I have to admit, we went through the first 100 copies of the Lent booklet, and more arriving tomorrow. That doesn't help you today, but if you haven't gotten your Lent booklet, there'll be more of them on Monday next week. But for our Lent this week, Jesus let go of others' approval. And this comes from the wonderful Dr. Wayne Dyer. I love this man. He was a member of our church in Maui, and what a great guy. And he offers this. What other people think of me is none of my business. One of the highest places you can get to is being independent of the good opinions of others. Give up the goo, the good opinion of others. Now, what does this mean? This means that on our spiritual journey, we'll find our substance, on our supply, our source, on the foundation of love. If we base our journey on what has happened to us, we're not going to be flourishing. We're going to stumble. Now, that doesn't mean that everything that happens in our life is bad. No, we have lots of good that happens. The stumble for us is looking for approval of others. And let that be our source. I don't know if any one of you did that. I did it for several decades, looking to please other people. And I had this ability to get in your head and decide what you wanted me to do, and then I would do it. It's insanity. It's crazy making. And it didn't foster a healthy life for me. Anyone ever do that? Yeah, I'm not alone. Okay, good. I knew I wasn't. But if it truly is what is in someone else's mind is their business, it's their thought. It's not ours. It has nothing to do with us. Most of what other people think about us isn't about us anyway. Just like what I think about you and them, and it's not what we base our life on. So, this wonderful journey is awakening us to this truth. And there's no accident, there's wisdom here. So, in our booklet, Reverend Robin Volker says, at times I've been hurt by words or actions of others. But when I hold on to these hurts, my mind and spirit feel shackled by heavy chains. I am bound to the past, unable to live joyfully in the present. Wow. I know the effects of this. Carrying those burdens. And when I'm carrying that resentment, that hurt, or that behavior around with me, is it hurting anyone else but me? No. Which is why it's a good idea to let go and let God. Our Lenten journey. Let go and let God. Because Who wants to be weighted down by the burdens? And that's what it's like. It's heavy, we're listless, we're tired, we're worn out, or we're really stressed out. Anyone find this familiar? Maybe? We don't have to do it that way. Again, we can remember that our source is in the present with God. God is our only substance and supply. And when we focus on the highest truth, what do we get? The highest truth. Whatever we focus on, we get. So focus on the highest truth. We will be able to live joyfully in the present moment no matter what's going on outside of us. Sounds good, yes? Also from our Lenten booklet is this wonderful passage from Reverend Christina Garza. She says, whether we realize it or not, most of us create an identity and self-value that's tied to working and doing. This creates the sense that there's never enough time. So we sacrifice rest and self-care to do more, to be more, to get more. Being a doer, I am a doer and a yes man. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do that. And if I go on automatic pilot, then I'm overwhelmed. But I'm placing my source in how much I can get done, not in what I am. Which is what Christina Garza leads to. When we turn our eyes to God within, we remember we are whole and complete, and our worth is measured by what we are, not by what we do. This is the choice. We can continue to be dependent upon the past and those thoughts and those words and actions that have hurt us. Anyone been hurt by anyone before? It happens. But we don't need to continue to carry it along. We can forgive ourselves for carrying it. We can forgive those or all of those people who may have created that situation that we chose to have a resentment or a hurt about. And letting go and turning to the eyes of God within, we allow that light to rise up. One of the greatest practices is to take that situation, that hurt and that harm, and give it to God. God, take this. You can use this energy. I let go and give it to you. And God does. God always says yes. Not once does God say no. God says yes. And with that, we can experience the wholeness, the vibration of stability and strength. Giving up the goo, giving up the good opinions of others, giving up every opinion of others is our road to freedom. Which is why it's been established in our Lenten booklet as a powerful truth that can help us get to Easter, to a place of awakening to our Christ consciousness. To allow this wonderful journey, the Lenten journey, 40 days, to let go and let God. I love Scripture. The Bible has taught me so much. And this passage, Matthew 11:28, is so beautiful. Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Isn't that beautiful? We are so supported. The blessing of God's grace to liberate us from any pain, any anger, any shame, any guilt, any hurt. If we look at our teacher, Jesus, the way shower, did he walk around with all the best people in the world? He walked around with the wounded, the people who experienced life at the root of shame and hurt. And he didn't say, no, you can't belong to the club. He said, welcome. You know what pain is, and you know what the light of God can bring when we let go and allow that light to flow in our relationships. Allow that light to heal us when we're experiencing pain. Pain is a tricky thing. And when we resist our pain, it's when we experience the worst kind of pain. Where if we allow pain to just be, it just is. Anyone not ever feel pain? Okay, so we agree that it is. And we all survived. Or surviving. Because we might not be pain-free right now, right? We might be experiencing that pain. Giving up the G.O.O. means we don't look outside of ourselves to find who we are or what we are. We know what we are by who we are and how we be, not by what we do. We do what we do because we do what we do. But it's not where our source is. Reverend Ellen Davenport, she used to be the senior minister at Unity Wimberley. She's a wonderful woman, but I got to tell a story. The first time I met Ellen Davenport was at convention, and I saw her, and I went right up to her with a little bit of enthusiasm. I know that's hard to imagine. Ellen, I'm so glad to finally meet you. And she just faded into the woodwork because I guess she's a little bit of an introvert. And I came on a little strong. So now whenever I pass her, she's like, get away. Anyway, she's a wonderful woman, a great writer, and she's now one of the department heads at Silent Unity. And she wrote this in our Unity booklet. Jesus is not a people pleaser. He never seemed to worry what others would think of him or how they might react, even if he knew they would be displeased. And in Unity, we identify how we can live as Jesus, teach as Jesus, heal as Jesus. And if he wasn't a people pleaser and wasn't basing what he did and who he was on what anyone else thought about it, then what does that call us for? It calls us to practice the same way. if we're true Christians, practical Christians, looking at following the wisdom, it's been displayed that it is ours to bring forth in the world light and love and wisdom and grace. And not because somebody else is expecting it of us, but because it comes from our own knowing. Each of us is a divine flame. Each of us has incredible talents and gifts. Each of us have those things that come to us easily and flow through us easily. If we express those things, we're bringing our light into the world. So are you ready to commit to giving up the good opinions of others, and allow God to be the only light to guide, to heal, and to give you strength? Good. Because our personal exploration this week is a single question. Who would I be if I made the conscious choice to let go of thoughts, feelings, and memories from the past that no longer serve my highest good? Who would I be? Now, that means if something your grandmother said when you were 6-year-old that just fills your heart with love and light, you don't need to let go of that. It's still serving your highest good. But in turn, if your grandmother said, you're a little too fat, and it hurt, it doesn't help to carry that into your experience. Who would I be if I made a conscious choice to let go of thoughts, feelings, and memories from the past that no longer serve my highest good? Will you join me this week and allow this question to really see, what would I be like if I didn't carry around all that stuff? Interesting question. And I guarantee you that if you practice this, you will be giving up the good opinion of others. Thank you.